Okay, we are here in Heroic Bank. Excuse me. I'm going to show you a gear set that you can build very easily. It's tip of the spear. Just get the four-piece. You can easily grind it out. And make sure you have the chest because that gives you 40% amplified damage. I am using Pestilence and Test Subject and the Momentum Backpack. The only must-have there is the Momentum Backpack because that gives you a red, yellow, and blue. And I've got three tier skills. You can see that number 3 over there. So you're going to get 2 from the gear set, and you're going to have to re-roll some of that red into 2 yellows. And then the others, you're looking for weapon handling because that's going to drive down your reload time because you're using an LMG. So LMGs have high reload times. So in this case, Pestilence is 5.6. But I've got enough weapon handling to give it 44% accuracy, 34% reload bonus,
Rogue
and a
agent
4.2-second reload time. Yours is going to be a little higher because you don't have to watch. Kind of show you the build here. You can count 1, 2, 3 reds outside of Memento, 2 yellows. The only blue I have is on the backpack. And there we're showing you what the damage is for the 4-piece. I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, here's the important part, because the chest piece is 40%. And so I'm going to take it, there's Pestilence. There's my test subject, which is giving me perfectly in sync. So it's important that you also have in sync on your weapons. You can run it on any assault rifle or any LMG that you want. Just make sure you have in sync, because that's going to give you plus 30%. So here's the rogue encounter. I'm going to throw the turret, and then I'm going to get started with the drone. I'm not going to tell the drone where to go. He's just going to go automatically. That's why I stepped inside the room. And now we're going to play outside the room because normally when I do the rogue encounters, I use Eclipse Protocol. And there I have a 5-tier drone that's going to torture the rogue agent. And so one of them is going to tie up the rogue agent, and I'm trying to set the other guy on fire. In this case, I don't have that, and kind of low on tiers, so we're gonna cheese it and back up and try to draw him out. And look at that! I'm going for more ammo. So yeah, you can see my drone already got taken out. On a 5-tier drone, he will get taken out twice before I close the kill. Now, Pestilence is really good for this fight because the rogue agent likes to med kit, but he's not going to med kit in time for Pestilence, because Pestilence on this particular build is going to hit for about 900k per tick when I have it stacked. So here you can see my tier 3 drone. He's soloing him, which is always a bad idea. Look, he's just going to get annihilated. And he's not wearing down that rogue agent a whole lot. But the rogue agent is now he's sitting on the turret. Now the turret is immortal. That thing's got like 8 million hit points or something. And he's made a mistake because he's going to get lit up by Pestilence. And he's not going to know what to do. The minute he wants to medkit, look at that. He's just dropping like a rock. And the minute he drops, that plague is going on to his friend. So, you know, I didn't even hit him. You just saw a bunch of white. And I told you about the reload speed. You're going to die in the reload. And they're just dead. He's just, look at those ticks on the left. 907k. All right, so here we are. We're upstairs. It's important to get your turret out in front of you. You can put it to the side, and that will protect you from the rushers. And I think you're going to see a little bit later the rusher becomes a problem. So both ways of putting the turret down are appropriate. I like to put it out in front of me to cover the spawn point because I think I can take care of myself. From there I use the assault rifle. You can see those 3 in-sync things come up, which is me for hitting him, the pet for hitting somebody else, and then combined it's going to be 30% amplified damage. So, I'm sorry, not amplified. It's adding to the weapon damage. The 40% is amplified. So now I'm waiting to hit the boss with my crossbow and get tip of the spear going. And once I get that, you can see we should be lighting them up for 180, 166, 180. Something like that. Yeah, I'm taking some damage, but look at that. Momento's taking me from red to white because we've got 3% armor regen. Look at that reload; it's just terrible. But we're doing a lot of damage in ticks. Just look at those ticks again. Totally stacked, 50 stacks at 907,000. You shouldn't expect that much because I've got the watch. You're probably going to be around 780, 790. Oh, see, look at that. I'm taking damage because my drone has gone nowhere because I haven't hit anything. And so I'm just firing my little tip of the spear thing, my crossbow bolt, Chunga. I can tell you that, oh, look at that, I'm getting lit up. And I'm going to, I should be hitting them with exactly my assault rifle, because the assault rifle is plus 20% health damage. It's a good thing I had it out, because the Russian came along. I think he died from the ticks, died from the pestilence. So yeah, it's important you have an assault rifle in this build, because things that are going to hurt you the most are the heavies. So those are the armor-plated guys. It's not an armor plate, I'm sorry, it's a health plate. So plus 20% maximum, plus 21% maximum health damage is very, very important. Yeah, see, light them up. The crossbow does 3.5 million. It's going to soften them up a little, but really, it's the assault rifle. The assault rifle is just going to just chew him to pieces. And now we're just going to clear up some pets. And the pets are doing significant damage. Look at that, 49,000. I think the turret does something like, it's going to do 68 or 77 or something like that. So they're contributing 100K within sync, which is significant. And you can look at my crappy hit chance and hit damage. I mean, you're not going to be maxed. This is not, hey, I hit that guy for 1.2 million. Nothing like that. You don't need that. You're running Pestilence. It's all about base damage because Plague of the Outcasts does not care about your crit. It only cares about your base plus that amplification. So if you don't run Tip of the Spear and you hit him with max, you're going to be around 500K, 600K for the ticks. But because we're running Tip of the Spear, we're really cranking it up. I've gotten it as high as that 1.2 million, but I have to run Vigilance and I have to run Spotter, or not Spotter, Spark and stuff like that. And it's really cheesy because you don't get that all the time. Whereas with this build, if you hit the guy with your specialization weapon every minute, you'll get full stacks as long as you're hitting your targets. So this is a very reliable build. You're not relying on crit. You're not relying on anything. You're just relying on base damage. Oh, here comes the Chunga again. And we are just going to tear him up with the assault rifle. Just look at that. Boom. He's dead. There were no ticks on him. No nothing. He was just pure. Let's hit him with 3.5 million. Let's hit him with the assault rifle, and he just got chewed up. And that's in sync. The assault rifle I have is the named assault rifle, so I'm getting plus 40% versus the regular plus 30%. And the rest is just pretty basic here. You kind of know that you're ready for the next level of content when you are sitting on the spawn points. And we are definitely sitting on the spawn point. We're just kind of waiting for these guys to come out. Nobody's going to get closer than the stairs to us. And that's just because I'm not hitting my targets because there's a crate in the way. So yeah, so right there I can't hit him. Once he comes a little bit closer, it's going to be lights out if I'm not stuck in the reload. So typically, I would have just one more weapon handling piece and a little bit less crit damage, just so that I can put more bullets on target faster. Because rate of fire and the reload, that's DPS. That's DPS that you are losing from just sitting waiting to fire. And you can see me pop out of cover thinking that I've got a full mag and I've got nothing. So that's lost DPS. And at the next level of content, you know, that makes a huge difference. You know, especially if guys are like, oh, look at that. See me popping up and having nothing in my belt. So, yeah, this is a fairly basic encounter. And you can see I'm not really hitting for a whole lot for that 115,000 because I didn't proc the extra amplified damage with tip of the spear, and these guys are, even though it's an LMG, they're kind of a little bit out of range. And so you can see the base damage on the armor guys is about 129,000 because I'm using contractors going to plus 8% to armor, about 117 I think for the non-armor guys.
Keep your heads down. We're gonna make a hole.
So, but I mean, you can clear that room because Pestilence by itself has got Plague of the Outcast, which is a force multiplier. So even though it says you're hitting them for 117, you can double that the stacks of the Plague debuff. And you can see I'm not playing this particularly well. I'm gonna shooting at the wall. The problem with the LMG is that unlike the assault rifle, you just can't pop them up, you know, over your head and kind of blindly fire. You are fully exposed, and so you really need your skills to be taking the heat off of you. And you can just look at it. I mean, not one bullet has come my way. Not one. Now there's one guy who's hitting me. So, and he didn't even hit me for that much. Because your tier 3 skills are picking up all the threat for you. And that's really the minimum, is kind of tier 3. So if you're to run this without memento and you run vigilance or something else like that, that's a damage talent. You got to make sure that you get at least 3 tiers of yellow onto your gear. And momentum just makes stuff so much easier because you've got armor regen, you've got 3% armor regen. You're going to see that, I believe, in this encounter, because I go down to red a couple times on my armor. And I just pop right back up. I mean, 20 seconds, you're back. You know, you're back in the fight. Okay, turret placement. 2 places to place your turret. I'm going to place them front and center. The alternate placement is up on the crate to the right. Now, putting it up on the crate is very, very good because it covers your flank, because the turret automatically shoots at the guy who's closest to you. And again, you can see that I am never telling my pets where to target. I want them to target the nearest enemy without me telling them. And you can see that reload is just terrible. I'm gonna die from it. Anyway, I'm just gonna cover this right area, and I'm gonna let my pets and the there's the phone and my Plague of the Outcast debuff cover the left. I am going to take out the sniper if I see him, and I am going to just kind of whittle down the boss a little. Yep, there I get my tip of the spear proc going, and oh, look at that. See, I popped up, I thought I was going to fire, and I had nothing in my belt. I'm pretty terrible at reloading. Yeah, I really need to get in the practice of just like running the whole thing down and just letting it run by itself. And you can see, because I didn't put the turret up above me to target the nearest enemy, I'm eventually going to get rushed. When you get rushed, it's kind of important you have something in the tank. And you can see my look at that. It's because my drone got taken out that I didn't notice. And then this guy came at me. You can dodge roll out of him. Here's the boss. I remembered my drone. And I've got the assault rifle out, and we are just going to tear him up. And look, see, I'm all on red. Pretty soon I'm going to just pop back up on white because memento is there. And this guy's been on the right side this whole time. And my turret's been targeting him, but because he's hiding, he doesn't hit anything. And now I finally throw out my fire grenade, which is arguably the best grenade in the game because it creates an area of denial. And depending on how much status you have, it's going to be 10 to 20 seconds, but you don't have to worry about a whole side. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look. See, I'm pointing to the whole area on the left, which probably had about 10 guys. But the turret and the drone were taking care of that. I didn't have to worry about that. And so you only see 3 memento trophies out there for where the plague killed. And so now we're looking at the breakdown. I only took 5 million damage. There were other videos where I took 25 million damage in challenging. So this is not, it's not a whole lot. You can look at the breakdown. 390 versus 645. So it's roughly about two-thirds for skill damage and 1/3 for me. Although the game incorrectly counts Plague of the Outcasts as skill damage. So you can think about it this way: in that I probably did a third, the Plague did a third, and my skills did a third. And so that's really what's keeping me alive, is having the skills out there and having pestilence out there. But again, you don't have to run pestilence. And you can look at my crappy crit percentage. You don't have a full watch; it's going to be even lower. But your base damage is so high. So here, I'm running with the M60, the slowest LMG in the game. At 600 RPM, which also means it is the most stable and hardest hitting. I mean, not hardest hitting in terms of if you compare with other high RPM weapons, but it hits hard per bullet, which means I don't have to reload that often. And you can see me, I'm going to reload this once, and that's it. And what are we hitting? I thought I saw 400 some thousand as crit, and I think the base is about, the base is 286,000. So I like to use the really slow weapon because I don't have to reload that often, and I'm just not really thinking about it. All right, so same thing as we did before. Hit the drone, start to hit somebody, let the drone go on its way, so that way I don't have to keep telling them where to go. And now we're going to light these guys up. And you can see that we are, because we're running in sync instead of pestilence, we are still hitting for a lot. We're hitting, what was it? Were we hitting like 270, 280? Something like that. And pestilence hits for the same, except that pestilence is stacking. So, once it's done, it's going to jump to the next guy, which I love. So it's going to hit guys that I can't see, and it's great for the gun. So here, making sure I get my proc, making sure I'm hitting the guy with the right weapon. Look at that, 259 base, 439 on crit for the assault rifle. That's pretty good. That's all tip of the spear, and I'm going to show you in a minute that it's not even maxed. It's not even maxed. I just rolled damage out of cover on it. Look, and that was that's the M60. Hold on, it's going to come up. Yeah, so I can eke out maybe another 2 to 4% out of that. And I think when I showed you the LMG, the LMG came with crit hit chance, which is just awful, awful. Oh yeah, so this is what you would reroll. So when you get a tip of the spear gear, look for crit hit damage, but if you can, get weapon handling so you can shave down your reload. And so for this guy, I would reroll the yellow. Reroll to yellow, get your skill tier, get some damage. That's fine. If you have a slow reload, that's fine. Maybe you don't go LMG. Maybe you go with maybe you go with the assault
Looks
rifle.
like that key card
Assault
is the
rifle
one we
is
were
fine
looking
too.
for.
This guy turned out to be perfectly rolled. You're going to get 2 red and then two tip of the spear pieces. You have to re-roll yellow. So yeah, this is like a keeper. Just as is. And Spark is a perfectly good chest talent. Obviously not for this build, um, but if you're running a hybrid and you're not running the tech specialization, Spark is good. So hopefully I'll show you the LMG again. Maybe. Yep. Yeah. There's the LMG. I just found that on the street this morning. Found it. Did I find it or did I craft it? Anyway, so I just re-rolled in sync on it. Uh, you can see, I mean, this is missing at least, it's missing 5% on the top. And you should be rolling that damage to armor to get another plus 6%. Yeah, so it's just crap, just a piece of crap. But you can run with it. You can run with it. I mean, the gear set. The gear set is good. Running Memento and running the hybrid is good. You can see that pointing out test subject. You can see I've got weapon handling here. The most important part is that chest piece to get your amplified damage up to 40%. So yeah, you can use this build and survival demo of the best specialization weapons in the game to get a quick hit and not jump out of cover.